How we doing? All right, today we're going to construct a basic gameplay clip. And I have the clip loaded into my video editing software, which is Corel Video Studio Pro, which is the most awesome editing software. But yeah, so we're just going to get started. So I have the clip uploaded. I'm going to play it back. And I'm looking for action sequences that I can edit. Okay, and that's the first action sequence that I'll edit. And so I'm gonna kind of go back to where the scene started. And I'm going to enlarge the timeline a little bit. So there's the clown, and he's approaching. And I want to do a slow motion action sequence. So from the time that I see the clown, I want to stop it right there, and I want to cut the film. Cut the film clip down and review the video. To the point that I take him down. So that's that sequence right there. I'm going to cut right there. And in this sequence, I'm going to right click and I'm going to change the speed of the video, speed time lapse. And I'm going to drop that down to about 50 in the drop down box. And then I can preview it right here and it'll show me the clip and how it went. So that's exactly what I want. I want that slow motion effect. I'm going to go ahead and accept that, and then I'll watch the clip again from the beginning, and then you'll see the slow motion effect take effect there. I like that dramatic effect of the slow motion. And so that edit is done, and I'll move on to the rest of the video until I find another action sequence. A lot of times this is just dead gameplay, and I want all the action, so I'll find a section to cut out just the running around, which is taking up space on your hard drive. You're not doing anything. It's great to show that in the game, but just for the purpose of this clip, I don't need all that extra running around. I just want to focus on the action. So I'm going to do some cutting in here. In this section, I'm going to right click to delete. Okay, so within this cut, you notice that the locations have changed. So in order to make that a little bit more or less dramatic, I can take a scene change. And this is my favorite. I use this all the time. It's called counterclockwise and balance. I'll drop that in. And then you'll see the scene location change. And maybe it won't look as dramatic as it did before. Here it goes. Okay, so that's just a basic way of changing locations and setting up the next action scene, which is right here. There's a guy inside here camping in the corner. And I was lucky enough to see him when I approached. So I'm going to slow that down by finding the beginning of the shooting action. And then I'm going to pause the screen right there. And you can see it on the timeline. This white line is where the shooting started. So I want to get right in there where the shooting starts and he's already going down. And that's when I'll cut the slow motion effect that I'm about to add to this scene. So right in there. So the first cut would be right here. If I can get my mouse to just sit right there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and make the first cut. And that's when the shooting will actually start. And then I'll stop here for the second cut. And in this section, I'm going to right-click and change the speed to half the speed, which is 50. I'm going to preview it. Okay, it's exactly what I wanted. And that edit is done. Now I'll just drop him and move on to the next section. Now in this next section, I got shot, which I don't like. I don't like to show in my clips. I don't like to show myself getting shot in my own clips. So a lot of times I'll edit out when somebody caught me off guard and took me out. And right now I'm going to do that. So this guy runs past. Somebody's chasing him. We'll leave it in. But normally I would edit something like that out and you'd never even know I got shot in the next sequence because I edit that shit out. Okay, and there's somebody outside that I'm going to take out right here. So that's another action sequence. But I want to catch the action as soon as I hit that door and get first sight of him. And that's when I want to start the slowdown. I don't see him yet. There he is. He comes jumping into the scene. So I'm going to stop right there and cut right there. So from the time he jumps into the scene until the time that I take him down, I want to start a slow motion sequence. So I'm going to cut the end of it right there. We're going to go inside that frame and we're going to slow it down. Right click, change the speed to 50, half of the 100, normal 100 speed. Okay, so take that down. And so we'll preview that sequence. I don't have to preview it when I do it because I already know what to expect now. So here we go. Okay, so that edit is done. I'll move on to the next. Now, I threw a grenade and the flash looks so dramatic that I want to slow that down too. I like the effect. So I want to slow that down to the point where I actually threw it. There's my arm extended. You can see my hand. So right here, I'm going to cut the scene. And you'll see my hand extend and throw the grenade and the subsequent flash. There's the flash. Okay, so I want to capture that flash in slow motion. So right about there, I'm going to do the end cut of this edit. And in this sequence here, I'm going to slow it down, just like I've been doing already, down to 50. Okay, so now we'll look at that. Slow motion. And then the scene goes back to normal speed. Okay, so right after I threw the grenade and it flashed, I shot the guy. And that was at normal speed. And I'm going to slow that sequence down at the beginning of the shooting. So there's going to be a cut right there. And a cut as he goes down to end the sequence. So that's another cut right there. It's a lot of cutting. So in here, I'm going to once again slow the speed down to 50. Okay, and so you'll see the sequence as it begins. now back to normal speed. And I'm going to just cut it off right here. And that's going to be enough info to get started on this edit. Now I have my normal template photos that I use in my videos. This I'm going to move back here. And this one is how I do the out, going out of the video, exiting the video, and finishing it up. I'm going to make a copy of this and bring that down here, and I'm going to open it all the way up. And this is my digital AI picture. So I want this to cover the full video, and I'm going to change the size. To just the thumbnail size that I can fit in the corner, so you know I can represent myself in the video, in the game. Okay, so there's that. And I want to have my name in the video, of course. You know, you got to have your branding, right? So I have all of these templates I can use for titling. This is a common one that I like to use. And so I'm going to drop that down here. And it's going to be the same length as the thumbnail photo. Okay, so I have the title right there. It's too large, so I want to take the size down a little bit, and I'm going to move that over here. You see the red lines that pop up? That's your warning that you're going out of bounds. So I can do that just like that, and it's going to stay like that for the whole duration of the edit. Okay? At the end of this, at the end of the clip, I want to have a screen transition. And my favorite one is the counterclockwise and balance. So I'm going to drop that in right there. And I'm going to do another one right here. And I'm going to take the other photo that I originally used before copying. And I'm going to resize that down at the end of the video. And I'm going to right click and anchor it to the center of the video. I'm just going to push it up just a little bit. And now I'm going to take my my branding. I'm going to copy that. And I'm going to put that right here so it lines up with the end photo. I'm going to cut right here. I have to highlight it and then take the scissors and cut it. And this I'm going to delete. This is the end of the video. So this is what you'll see at the end. So what I have to do is highlight this box with the title and drag the title. Let me put this in the middle so it is in the scene. I have to drag this title down and just kind of put it to where it looks even. So now you'll see the title. Okay, and as far as the effects in this software, it comes with the most amazing effects. So I like to use a lightning effect in my thumbnail. So I drag the lightning down, and then you'll see the lightning in my face. And what I want to do with that lightning, I want to click on this star within there and highlight the lightning and change the setting of the random lightning to down to 2 seconds. And so the interval where you see the lightning flash will be every 2 seconds. Okay, and I want to brighten the glow a little bit to make the lightning flash a little bit thicker. That's just something I started doing, and I like it. So now when you look at that, you'll see the scene changes, the transitions into the final closing, and that's how it'll look. This is how it'll look. and that's how that works. Um, Something in here. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's okay. All right, cool. So now I get to the fun part, which is adding music and maybe doing the voiceover. Okay, so I'd have to play the clip, see how it's flowing, and then I put the voiceover in. So I'm going to put add the music right now. So I have music um, on my computer that's suitable for gameplay. I'm going to use the music that I got from my coworker, which this guy is a talented guy, man. He's doing great things with music. So let's find one of his tracks. Oh yeah, I like that one. I like that one. So I'm gonna drop that music down into the music section of the timeline. And I'm going to shorten the timeline to the full length of the screen. And I want the music to come right to the end of the video. So that's that. Now comes the part of trying to get the music volume level at a suitable volume so it doesn't overwhelm the clip, the sound from the game, you know. So let's just bring that music volume level down a little bit. So I'm going to click on the first thing I did was double click on the music to get this overlay up top. And I'm going to go to the volume and drop the volume down. And you'll see that on the music timeline, you'll see the volume coming down to where you put it down. So I'm going to, you see here. I'm going to adjust the volume myself. There's a very thin blue line here that you can see. And that's probably the normalized volume level. I'm still learning the software, but I'm getting better. So I'm going to drop that music down just a little bit more because when you actually play it back outside of this software, it may tend to be a little bit louder than you thought. So some of my clips, the music was really loud, and I just didn't feel like going back and doing another edit to bring the music down. So I just uploaded it as it was. But this one, I want to get the music right, and so here we go. Let's listen to this from the start to the finish. And I'm going to go click here to open up the screen so I can see the clip from the beginning. Here it goes. I was teabagging this dude, man. I didn't have to do that, but you know, you're just having fun. Cool. All right. I'm good with that. All right. So now I'm going to go back into the editing screen. And I noticed when I was watching the video that my face doesn't have a lightning bolt. I only put it in the end credit one. So I got to go ahead and I can just right click on this and copy attributes and then paste them here. Paste all attributes. The problem with that is um, now I have to put this back where it was before because I copied all the attributes, which means that it changed the location. Am I looking at the right one? Yeah. That it changed the location of my thumbnail, which actually I don't want the thumbnail on this opening screen anyway, so I'm going to move it back. Let me see which one. Something doesn't seem right. Right there. So right about here. So I'm going to put a marker right here. And then I'm going to move the thumbnail back and the titling back to where, okay. So my thumbnail is too big right now, so I'm going to drop the size of that down a little bit more. And I'm going to move my title over a little bit. Got to stay under that red line. So everything that you're controlling in your edit is right here in the timeline. So you just click on each option to access it and make the changes you need. Okay, so that's actually, I'm trying to cover up this mini map and take up some of that space. And here we go. All right, so that's not as even as I'd like, and normally I would spend more time worrying about making that look nice and even to where, yeah, let me go ahead and do it. I really want to make the best video I can, so that part is done. I'm all set there. Oh, I see. That's what'll happen. Okay, I see what the problem was with this. Let me delete that. Okay, now everything's fine. Okay, push this back to here and push that back to here. Okay, and like I said, the title here, I kind of messed that up and I lost my title in the end sequence. I'm just going to leave it the way it is for now for the purpose of this clip. It's not important. So I got my music and I've got all my edits done, and now comes the fun part where I can do a voiceover. And so I'm going to I'm going to do a voiceover, and I'm going to change the pitch of my voice to a deeper voice because it's so much freaking fun. I mean, it's a blast. So here we go. Start the clip from the beginning. Click on the record audio voiceover. And I'm going to start the voiceover. I got to think of something that just flows within the action sequence, and it's kind of corny, but I like it. Here we go. I can't believe I'm back here again. But things are going to be different this time. So much for the clown. Who's next? Who's this? Goodbye. A little tea bag for you. Well, that wasn't supposed to happen. Goodbye. Another one down. On to the next. Another one down. All right, so, oops, that that recorded too, so I'll edit that last part out. So this is the voiceover section. And when I went, all right, though, well, we'll cut that out. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight it right there and cut that section out and delete it. And now I'm going to change the pitch of my voice in that voiceover. And I already know what pitch I want, so I'm going to right click and hit audio filter. And it'll bring up a drop down with many options for audio voiceovers and singing and whatever you want to do in your clips. And I'm going to grab the pitch shift off option and add it to my applied filters. And I'm going to change the pitch to a deeper tone. And I think 6 or 7 is good for me. I'm going to click OK. And then I'm going to listen to it in playback. But first, I'm going to raise the volume level just a little bit because it never seems to fully come out at the volume that I want to match the music. It's just got to flow within the music without overpowering it. So here we go. Let's try this again. From the beginning, project, let's go.
I can't believe I'm back here again. But things are going to be different this time. So much for the clown. Who's next? Who is this? Goodbye. A little tea bag for you. Well, that wasn't supposed to happen. Goodbye. Another one down. On to the next. Another one down.
And that's pretty much it. So I'll go back into the edit and I think I can get away with raising the music a little bit louder, raising the music volume up just a little bit. So let's take the music volume up a little bit louder, right about there. And from there, I can go ahead and take the voiceover, and I can turn the speech into text. And when I do that, I basically have the words that I'm saying show up on the screen. And so I'm going to right now change the font of the text to something. I always try to use something different in my clips, you know. And so you can see the font size within this little black window. And if you want to see it better, just change the font size. And then you can go back to changing the actual font to something that you really want. I like that. I like that. That looks futuristic. And I'm going to go with this. And the font size is probably a little bit too big for the screen because you're looking at it on the smaller black screen. And that's probably, man, that's better. It's big, but I like it. Okay, so I'm going to go with that. And so this whole highlighted vocal section that I just overdubbed will be turned into on-screen text. And let's go ahead and hit start, and it will turn it into a text that you can see on the screen. Okay, so now when I go back, let me give it a minute to catch up.
Back here again.
Okay, so you can see the text on the screen. If you click on the new text bars within that timeline, you can actually move the text around. And you can edit the text too. If you want to capitalize and put punctuation and anything else in there, you can do that right there. So I'm going to move my text right here in the center of the screen so it's in the middle of the action. So this one I just moved, but the rest of them are still the same as they were. So I'm going to take this one and I'm going to copy its attributes. And then I'm going to highlight all the others and paste those attributes that I just copied into the others. So now you see that the text moved up into the center of the screen to where it's more readable by the viewer. And sometimes I'll go in and edit the text if it's not exactly what I said. You'll see her little tea bag. No, that's not what I want to say right there. So I'm going to listen to what I said and then edit that text.
A little tea bag for you.
A little tea bag for you, not her. Okay, so I'm going to click on the box that the text is in. And I'm going to change that her to with a comma. A little tea bag for you, okay? And there that is. That's, well, that was supposed to happen. Goodbye. Another one down. On to the next. That's fine. Another one down. Okay. And I'm back again, but things are going to be different this time. So much for the clown. Okay, that's it. I could bring the volume down a little bit on the overdub audio, the vocal that I just put in. It sounded like it was a little bit louder than I need it to be. The white line is probably the perfect normalized level, but I never trust it. I'm going to trust it this time and just come as close to that white line as possible. Okay, so that's pretty much the end of this edit. Oh well, one other thing that I do is I like to add sound effects, and I like to give the impression that I'm on live TV. So I add applause and cheering to the clip. And so I'm going to add some applause. Normally I'll add the applause and cheering to, you see if I move it along the timeline, I'm showing where the action sequences are. If you look at the actual movie timeline, you'll see, you can tell where I've been shooting, and that's normally where I want the applause to land, because you're applauding the bad guy getting shot. So I'm going to bring my applause in and line it up on this screen, and I just want it to sound natural. So the applause starts as soon as I start shooting the bad guy. And I'm going to double down on that for all of these sections where you see audio in the video from shooting. I want to copy applause and add it to those scenes. Okay. Okay, and there we go. Let me line that up. That's good. And after all this, that's pretty much the end of the editing process for a video like this. I'm done. I mean, normally I would say, late night lobbies is live or something like that, and I'd over it, but I'm not going to do all that right now. This is just some a how-to on video editing. Okay, so I'm ready to share the video. I'll go ahead and play it back with the audience, and we'll see what that sounds like real quick before I start actually rendering the video. So now you hear the audience.
Who's next? Who is this? Goodbye.
Okay, so now I'm ready to share this. And when I share it, I want to change the video resolution to 4K. Um, and then I'm going to go ahead and find the 4K template. And I'm ready to go ahead and to render it, which takes, I don't know, for a video this size, it tells me that the estimate output size is gonna be different than what it shows here. But I'm going to go ahead and start rendering. And while it renders, I can watch what it's rendering. And so this video output size is going to be about 748 megabytes. And then I'll upload that to YouTube in 4K, and we'll see how it actually turned out. But anyway, thanks for watching, and if you're editing, I hope this helped. If you're just starting out, I'm having fun with it, so losing my voice right now. But thanks for watching.